So not only does it seem that the government is hell-bent on just extracting as much money as possible from us through taxes, fees, permit costs, you name it. And now, retailers are now joining in as well. So last year I was in Turkey and visiting my parents. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm not using the mic right now. I'm driving. I'm really rushing around a lot nowadays, incredibly busy with work. So this is one of the few moments I've got. But I wanted to just come on and just talk about money and where our money is going. But so I was in Turkey last year and visiting my parents, having a bit of downtime, but I carried on working. And to work, I need really high-speed internet. So I'm in this small town in the south of Turkey, beautiful place, but not very, it's quaint, this town. And I was a bit concerned about the internet speed. But so my father had just upgraded, had just changed, but he had ultra high speed fiber optic internet, speeds of which I've never seen before. And I asked him, I said, how much are you paying for this? So we did the conversion, and he is paying the equivalent of 10 Canadian dollars a month, $10 a month for fiber optic ultra high speed internet. I had cable internet, and I was paying just for the internet, nothing else. I don't have cable TV with the cable company I was with. So I was paying just for the internet $150 a month. $140 more a month than my father was paying. So I decided that when I got back, I was going to look at various options. And first, though, I did call my provider and said, listen, this is what I'm paying. All we're using this for is the internet. We don't have TV. What's the best deal you can do? Are there any other packages? For the level of service we were receiving from them, the download speed, upload speed, and everything else, that was the best they could give us, $150 a month. And I said, no, that's not right. At the time, there was another provider was offering, I just released in the area in which I live, fiber optic ultra high speed internet for $50 a month, guaranteed, I believe for 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. And so I made a switch, saving immediately $100 a month. Then I thought, okay, where else can I look at doing this? There has to be other ways of shaving the costs down just a little bit. So I called my insurance company, and I did have one claim some years ago for a property I had. But I've had the relationship with this insurance company for over 20 years now. All of my vehicles, properties, all been through the same insurance company. And so I called them and I said, listen, what is the best you can do for me, given the fact that despite the one minor claim, I've been paying my premiums for 20-something years for every property I've had, every vehicle I've had. And so they ran the numbers, and there were a couple of things that they did do to shave things down a little bit. And I looked around at other insurance companies, and I think ultimately I was getting a pretty good deal. Maybe just a little bit more, but I'm happy to pay just a little bit more, because every time I do need something, if I need to change a policy, update, whatever it is, I'm through to a real person within 2 minutes. The other insurance companies I contacted, it was, okay, we'll get back to you in 2 weeks, we have to do this, we have to do that, or I was on hold. I think I was on hold for 45 minutes. So, at some level you get what you pay for. But what was interesting, when I spoke to them, I got an agent, and none of them had picked up on this before. They said, strangely, your policies for your vehicles and your policy for your house, we've got you under two different files. And I said, okay, well, that means you haven't been receiving your multi-line discount. There's a discount. I think this is the same everywhere, where if you have vehicle and home insurance with the same insurance company, there is a discount that's applied. I'm not sure if this is a regulatory thing, but I hadn't received my multi-line discount for 6 years. So they've gone back now and they're doing a calculation to see how much this 6-year refund is going to be. So great, I'm going to be getting a big refund from my insurance company. Then I did the same thing with my cell phone. And you know, I've been with this cell phone company since they first launched, over 25 years ago. They told me that there was nothing that they could do, absolutely nothing that they could do. Keeping in mind, I've always been on automatic payments, never missed a payment, never late, stayed loyal. There was nothing they could do. So it was too easy. I switched to another provider. I carried my same phone number over, reducing my bill there by $80 a month. I then contacted my credit card. I have one credit card. I contacted my credit card company and I said, okay, this is, you know, I'm paying the industry average interest rate. I think it was the absurd rate of 22%, 21.99%. And you know, I try not to carry a balance, but when I do, that's a hefty charge that I'm paying, heavy interest rate I'm paying. So they said, oh well, we do have another card that you can look at, you can get, but the problem is that you need to make sure your payment's paid on time every month. And I said, I've always paid my payment. You know, when I carry a balance, I always pay before the due date. Oh well, then we can offer you this new card. And I said, what's the interest rate? 12%. I'm like, you have a card that has an interest rate of 12%, and I've been paying, when I have a balance, 22% interest. You didn't think that you should tell me this? Now, why would they tell me this? But I did that. So me and my wife, we did that all over the place. And when you look at the annual savings of everything combined, it's huge. It's a massive amount of money. So check your numbers, check where you're paying, phone your providers, ask them what is the better deal they can give you. Look at alternatives. But it gets worse, you know. It's not only do I find here in Canada, I know in the UK, it's not as bad in the States because I think there is more competition. Not only I think are we being absolutely fleeced by service providers, the taxes we're paying here, man, it is absolutely horrifying. And you know, people say that, oh well, in Canada we have free healthcare. We don't have free healthcare. Don't let anybody deceive you for a second into believing we have a great healthcare system. It absolutely sucks. I think I've mentioned it before, going to the A&E, waiting 12 hours, not seeing a doctor, knowing of chronic cases of misdiagnosis, waiting 6, 8, 12 months for a referral. Most Canadians, well, I think a large number of Canadians do not have family doctors. So don't buy into that whole argument that, you know, we have a healthcare system, that's why we pay more taxes. We pay more taxes because of government mismanagement of the public purse. Canada's running a $60 billion deficit right now. Money is spent on the most absurd things. We're paying for ridiculous programs. We're funding adventures overseas. Unfortunately, there's nothing much I can do about the tax regime as it stands here. But then I was watching the news the other day, and an audit was done on the main grocery chains in Canada, and inspectors went to the largest grocery stores chains or grocery chains stores in a number of different provinces, and they were looking at meat. And I think in 70% of cases, what people were paying for at the till was more than what was indicated on the package. So what seems to be the practice is that if, let's say, you're buying a pound of mince, a pound of chicken breast, whatever the meat is, when you get home and you open it and you weigh it, it's less than a pound, because they're including in that price the weight of the packaging. Now, the food laws in Canada dictate that the packaging cannot be charged. That what it says on the label, that must be what you're receiving, but that's not the case. The stores are blaming the head office. The head office is blaming the stores. The store manager's blaming the guys in the bag. There's something faulty with the scale. There's this miscalculation. At the end of the day, people are being ripped off by the grocery stores. There's already been case after case of price fixing, people being chronically overcharged. It doesn't end. It's everywhere you turn, at every juncture, every turn, every corner, every opportunity that somebody has to fleece us, they're fleecing us. So when you get home and you've bought meat, especially if you're in Canada, weigh it to see, am I getting the 1 pound that they've charged me for? And if not, insist, go back and say, reweigh this and I want a refund, and report them. Call your providers to see what deals they can give you, to see if there's a better price that you can have for the service that you've been loyal to. Contact your cable company, contact your cell phone provider, your credit card company, contact your insurance company. If you've got multiple policies, make sure you're getting your multi-line discount. It's a new year. There's the cost of living crisis is real. I've mentioned it in other videos, how many people are going to using the food bank, how many people are living through food insecurity. The cost of living crisis is real. Governments aren't doing anything to combat it. There's enough money for all this other stuff, but there's not enough money to feed people. There's not enough money to fix the ailing healthcare system. Plenty of administrators working in the hospitals, but where's the money for the people that need the bandages, people that need the treatment, people that need the testing? Anyhow, that's what I wanted to talk about today was, listen guys, I think I looked at the number, and I think it's a good few $1,000s a year. A good few $1,000s a year in changing providers. And that's not including the discount from the insurance company or the refund from the insurance company I'll be getting. So check your numbers. My nan used to tell me, watch the pennies and the pounds will take care of themselves. Watch the pennies, see where your money is going. You work hard enough for it. We all work hard enough for this money. So yeah. Anyway, so that's my advice. Check your numbers. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, appreciate subscribing to the channel. And if you did like this video, giving it a thumbs up. So I've got a day of Zoom calls and work to do, and it looks like a lot of shoveling. So I had more snow last night. But until the next time, look after yourselves, be good, take care. See you on the next one.